going to go ahead and get started here. I don't think we have anybody else coming on. But yeah, if you go to this first link down here, I'm going to start sharing my screen with you ladies. And hopefully you see this. Let me know if you don't. But it should have sent you to Observing with NASA. So the third step of the badge is to make star observations. So this is a website that you can go to actually capture some star images. And you can actually control the telescope, and they will email you the images that you made. It usually takes about 1 to 2 days, which I thought was really cool. So, you know, a part of this badge is basically researching space. So a lot of the steps that go along with this badge have you, you know, experimenting and exploring and researching the universe around you. So what's nice about technology, and the reason that we're meeting over Zoom today, is because the last 3 sets of this badge offer you some online activities that you can do to help you research and to help you to earn, you know, your space researcher badge. So we'll get started. If you click on Control Telescope here in the corner, and you can really pick anything that you want to target. So if you want to target some of the star constellations, I've tried a few of them myself already. I tried to do the Milky Way. That one didn't give me a lot of good photos. But I think I'm going to go with Crab Nebula today. If you've done the second step of this badge, then I talked a little bit about star constellations in that video. So Catherine, I know you said you hadn't gotten to that yet, but it's totally fine. You can go back and watch it again since it's already been recorded. But it just gives you a little bit more information about what stars are made of. So today we're just kind of taking that a step further. So we're kind of continuing step 2 into step 3, where we're just kind of researching a little bit about this. They also ask you in the badge program to actually go out at night. And if you get an opportunity to do this, depending on where you live, and they want you to look up in the night sky and write down or draw a picture of what you see. And you can do that like in a science notebook or on a notepad. And they ask you to see if you can see any of the constellations. So that's just kind of taking this a step further from also capturing some of your own. So I don't know what you guys want to choose today. I think I'm going to try the Crab Nebula. I talked about that one in my second video. So whichever one that you want, you decide. And then you just click Observe. And then it gives you a couple of options here. Obviously, you're going to want to do a normal view. If it gives you some other options, I just recommend clicking on the normal view. And I played around with this a little bit. So it may take you a couple of times. You might want to do 4 or 5 of them and then have them emailed to you. But I'm going to choose to do 60 seconds of exposure. And what that means is for a minute, they will capture 60 seconds worth of whichever type of constellation or planet or the moon or whatever you selected. This, they say, is the optimal time. So that's why I usually choose 60 seconds. Sometimes if you do a 1/10 of a second, you're not going to get anything. It's just going to be black. So I try to do the longest amount of time. And you can choose to do a filter. You can let a certain color come in if you want. I usually do no filter. I just let all light through. But you can play around with it if you want. You can do blue, green, red. You could do multiple colors if you want. It's kind of your choice. It's your option. But whenever you're done selecting them, you can hit continue. And then you just provide your information. Okay, so you would just put in your email address, your age, your gender, whatever state you're from. You can choose if you've never done this before, you know, this is my first time today. How would you rate? So it just gives you a couple of questions here, and then you submit. And in a couple of days, you're going to get an email, and they're going to email you a picture of whatever you wanted to capture. Now, like I said, for badge purposes, I recommend doing a few of them. So usually what I do is hit submit, and then I go back and start over again. So then I go, I would click on control telescope, or I'd go back once I've hit submit, and then I just start again. Maybe choose the moon or a planet if you want to observe that. Maybe choose a few of the stars. But this gives you a lot of different options. I had no idea that this existed before I even started researching this program. So this is pretty cool. But yeah, I would recommend for this step playing around with it a little bit and then possibly doing some nighttime observations. So that one's pretty, simple to complete. Do you guys have any questions before I move on, or does that one make sense? Okay, I'm seeing nodding heads, so that's good. All right, so what I'm gonna do down here, so that's pretty much all you have to do for step 3. Now, obviously, there are more options of badges. There are more options for you to complete that step of the badge, but I found that this one would be really, really good for you to do at home, since we're a little bit limited during COVID-19 on where we can go and how many people we can be around. So that's why I thought this was a good one for you to complete that 3rd step. We're gonna go, and I'm not gonna close this out, but I'm just gonna go over to my next tab here. And this is a really cool one. This will help you complete step 4 of earning your badge. And I'm gonna put this link down here in the chat, so that way you guys can get to it. There you go. So this is the next link that you can click on. It's a Skymap's website. This is another online opportunity to help you complete that 4th step of your badge. And I'll show you guys where to go on this website so that you can complete it. But this is a Skymap website. You can actually order these online, but they also offer them for free, which is great. You can get a PDF copy online. And if you scroll down, we are in, it depends on what edition you want to choose. I would say I've clicked on all 3 of them, but Northern Hemisphere, is a little bit more up where we're located, since everyone on here is from Virginia. I'm going to focus on that hemisphere. So we're thinking about the world or the globe as a whole, and Northern Hemisphere is going to be anywhere above the equator, and then equilateral edition would be your Skymap along the equator, which we're above the equator, so we're going to focus on the northern edition. So then you just click download here. So you want to be on May 2020, download this PDF edition. And it should give you a couple of pages of information. And what this does is it gives you a sky map for this specific month that we're in. And it'll tell you what certain constellations, depending on, how the Earth is tilting on its axis, which I'm sure you guys have already learned in school about the Earth turning on its axis. And it takes 365 days, which is one full year. We call that a revolution around the axis. And so right now, this sky map is specific to where, how the Earth has been tilted at this part of the year. And so what they do is they give you a list of some of these different constellations that you can see in the sky, like Virgo, if you guys are familiar with, oops, sorry about that. I was getting another call in there. So it'll give you some constellations, like if you guys are familiar with horoscope. So like the Libra constellation, Virgo, there's some common ones in here, and then they give you some that you may not be aware of. And it gives you where certain things are located in the sky, depending on what month of the year it is. And if you scroll down here, they'll even tell you if you have your own set of binoculars or a telescope, It'll even give you information about which things on this sky map can be seen the easiest. So if you just wanted to look up in the night sky using the naked eye, these are the things or the constellations that you would probably be able to see the best. So step 4 encourages, as a Girl Scout, for you to be a researcher on your own. And you can have the help of an adult, it's okay. But to go outside at night and to see if you can use the sky map to locate some of our current constellations during the month of May. So I think that that's a really cool thing that you could try to do. You could print this out and take it outside with you. One recommendation I do have, if you're gonna go outside and you're gonna record anything, like you're gonna write down things that you were able to see, or you wanted to take the sky map outside with you, I would recommend taking a flashlight, because if you're gonna go out in a really, really dark spot, you wanna be safe. But I do have something that I recommend, and you guys can easily find this at the store. So I don't know if you can see this or not. Can you see this on the camera? It's like a red plastic table cover. You can get this for like $1 at the dollar store, or I even got this at Kroger at the grocery store. And if you cut off a little bit of this and put it over your flashlight, it will help you to still be able to see the map that you're carrying outside with you, but it won't obstruct your view of the constellations. Because if you look into the bright flashlight, it can sometimes affect your pupils. It'll dilate your eyes, and so it'll affect you looking up and what you're seeing in the sky. So that's just something that I recommend. So using like a thin red plastic cover, or use like red cellophane, like plastic wrap, and just put it over the top of the flashlight. It'll help you to still be able to see the map that you're trying to look at, but it won't obstruct your view. So that's step 4. This is one that you can do easily at home at night. So that's why I thought that this would be a really good one for you to do for step 4. And then lastly, for step 5, I'm going to send you 2 more links here. Oh, Catherine is saying that she's having trouble with the app. Here, I'll put a little note here for her. Try to minimize the screen. So what I've done, if you're having difficulty with the Zoom chat, is I'll usually like minimize the Zoom and put myself over here in the corner. That way you can still see the website that's in front of you. So if you're still having trouble, let me know. But usually what I do is I hit like the little minimize line. Okay, I did. Yeah, so just minimize it, because now I can see all of you, but you're just in a little box in the corner of my screen, and then I can see the screen that's in front of me. So yes, thank you for letting me know that.
Did you get it?
Sometimes that can be tricky. Did you get it?
I'm working on it. Okay.
I'm just working on copying and pasting while I wanted to make sure that that went to everyone. Let's see. Let me try that one again. And then there was one more. So if you're having trouble getting to the links themselves, if you, Catherine, do you have the Zoom chat open? Okay, so if you just click on it, it should be already hyperlinked. So if you just click on the link itself, it should open up a website page for you. It's not doing it? Okay. Another thing that you can do, because you can see my screen here, is if you just highlight over it like this and right click and hit copy, and then open up a new tab like this, like in Google, just open up like a Google tab, and then just paste it in there and hit enter, it should open up the website for you. Did that work?
I'm working on it.
And if not, what's nice is that all these are recorded. This chat is recorded, so you can keep going back and right-clicking if you want to highlight over it, copy it, and then try to put it in here. Because sometimes it won't hyperlink. See, like here, it's blue for me, so I just click on the link, and then I can open it up. Were you able to get them open now? Oh, okay, good, excellent. So we're gonna look at, that's awesome. We're gonna look at this globe at night one. The fifth and final step of earning your space researcher badge is they want you to do something to give back to the community, okay? So as a space researcher, they want you to try to contribute some of the things that you've learned throughout the other steps. And there's two different things that we're gonna look at. So you have a couple of options on what you can do to kind of take this next step out into the community world, so to speak. So this is a website called Globe at Night, and they partner with Girl Scouts. And it gives you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about light pollution. So they give you, you can scroll through the different links here. You can learn a little bit more about how our globe is affected by light pollution. So this gives you a couple of different things that you can read through on your own. My favorite part about this is the 6 easy star hunting steps. That's one really cool thing on this site. So it gives you information. I've already given you a site on how to go and look for Skymap. So I highlighted that here because that's a part of one of these final steps here. But the really cool way that you can give back is by reporting. They really, really want Girl Scouts to help out by reporting the amount of light usage that they see in their area. So it could be at any time you put in whatever date that you decided to record this information, whatever time that you decided to record, and where you're located. You don't have to put an address. You can put, you know, Harrisonburg, Virginia, or you're welcome to put in your direct address. It's up to you. And then it asks you a couple of questions. What were the sky conditions like that night when you went outside to look? And you could put how the condition is. You could say, it's difficult to see, there's too many lights around, all I'm seeing are street lights, or you could say, you know, the sky seems clear. You could put like a little bit of a description here after clicking one of these. This takes it a step further. You don't have to submit this piece of it. It's optional. If you have a sky quality meter, you are welcome to use that. If you have a smartphone, you can download apps that are sky quality meters. So I'm pretty sure you guys might have cell phones. If you don't, you can use a tablet. But if you have a smart device, you can actually download a sky meter. And when you step outside and you want to record, you just hit a button on your phone and it'll give you a reading and you record it here. Once you submit the data, it goes into a global data bank. And if you go back to the main page here, they said that they have had, so far, just in the year 2020, citizen scientists have contributed 8,977 data points already this year. And our goal is 15,000 data points in a year. So that you know, it's only May and we're already almost at 9,000 data points. So the more that this is contributed, the more that scientists can learn about where certain areas are getting the most light pollution and where areas are not getting a lot of light pollution. So really by doing this, you're kind of taking your knowledge a step further, and now you're contributing as a global citizen. So this is really taking it that extra step further. There's another thing that you can do. I think that this one's pretty cool, pretty easy to do. But this one here, the loss of the night site that I sent you, this one is actually a blog spot. Someone actually posted this from Chicago. And this is an example according to the Girl Scouts of the USA. This is a project example that someone did about the loss of the night. And if you go through and read through this as a part of step 5, you'll notice that this person actually decided to take pictures of light in their local town. So they decided to study the light quality around them and to do a project on it so that people could see, if you look at the differences here in light quality. So this one obviously is a lot of light pollution. And so this one is an animated version. And basically this is something that you can do. Maybe even considering taking it into like a bronze or a silver or even a gold award. This is like really, really taking your Girl Scout journey a little bit step further. So this would be a really cool project idea if you're trying to earn one of those higher level badges or higher level awards, I should say. So this really just kind of gives you, based on this badge program, an idea of a project that you can do. This one is really, really, really bright. And I noticed the difference between when they changed the lighting. So you could easily do something like this in your own community, like taking images of areas that look like they have a lot of light pollution, and then seeing if you can work with your community, work with your the local government, your local community government, on how to reduce lighting pollution in your local area. So that's really what step 5 is all about, is kind of taking that step further. So now that I've gone through everything, so I've gone through the resources that you have now for steps 3 through 5, I'm going to do kind of like an open panel. If you guys have any questions, if you want to type it in the chat, you can, and I can answer it. Or if you don't have any questions, you can say, I don't have any questions at this time. But I hope that I was able to really, really help you get started with these last 3 steps and gave you a lot of resources. But like I said, I'm going to be quiet for a moment and let you guys ask any questions if you have them. So I'll take a moment and pull up the chat. All right. Well, if there are no questions and you ladies have all that you need to help you accomplish the 3 steps, we'll go ahead and close off today's Zoom meeting. You can reach out to me at the Virginia Skyline Council at any time. Reach out, email if you have any questions. And I would be happy to help you if you need help finishing this badge program. But I'm really, really excited. I hope that you guys have fun with this. Ultimately, I want you to have fun exploring, you know, the space that you have around you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop share my screen and go ahead and end our recording today. So what's nice is that if you want to go back to this video later on, if you missed something, it will be posted. So I will give you ladies the link to this if there was something that you missed or you want to go back and hear again. That way you have everything. So thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end for today. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.